Hi, I'm Troy, and welcome back to another on-the-road video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com. Stop. Before beginning any repair, always be sure to disconnect the power to the appliance. It is also recommended to test the outlet for proper voltage. Today we're going to go ahead and replace the rear drum supports for this Kenmore dryer. You could be having symptoms pertaining to a grinding noise and even a squeaking / squealing noise. To complete this repair, you will need a 5/16 nut driver, Phillips head screwdriver, putty knife, tack puller or flat blade screwdriver, and wire cutters. To start this repair, we're going to start by removing the lint screen. With the lint screen removed, we have to take out these two Phillips screws. As you are removing the two Phillips screws, just be careful not to drop them down into the lint housing, because they will go down into your blower and you'll have to remove even more parts to retrieve them. So when you're taking them out, just be careful that you do not drop them. So after removing the lint screen and the two screws, we're going to go ahead and pop the top up so we can fold it back so we can access the inside. On this particular unit, the way you're going to do so is you're going to follow the top piece back and you're going to basically pull forward and lift up at the front. Put your foot in the front of the unit, pull from the back, a little bit forward, and then lift up to release it. You're going to do the same thing on the other side. Once you got it pulled up and released, you can now fold the top back up so it's open and out of your way. On this particular unit, we're now going to go ahead and remove the bottom kick plate. This one is held on by two tabs on the sides, so you're basically going to grab the unit, the bottom part, and pull it forward. Once you pull it forward on one side, pull the other side forward, the unit will fall forward, and you can now remove it off its bottom hanging clips. Now with the kick plate removed from the bottom, you'll notice that up under here there's a screw, and then there's another one on the other side. Those screws are what holding the front panel or the door in place. There's two screws at the top, but the bottom ones it hangs on or sits on, so we're going to loosen these bottom ones just a little bit. Because now with them loosened, when we remove the top screws, we'll be able to pull out and lift the whole front panel off the unit. So now we're going to go ahead and remove the wires down here. They go to the door switch, the screw up here, and the other screw over here, so we can then free this door front panel and remove it from the unit. I'm going to start by just removing the wiring harness from the actual door. Once that's removed, I can come down and remove the three wires that go to the door switch. Before removing the wires, I would make note of where they actually connect to the door switch. You can write them down or take a picture, either way, so then when you put it back together, you have them in the right position. So now what we're going to go and do is remove the two screws that are holding the front panel in place. We're going to remove them from each side. When you remove them, hold the door up with your leg so it doesn't fall forward on you. So now that your screws are removed, you're able to remove the front panel. You're basically going to pull it forward just a little bit. It's going to free itself from the drum, and once it's free, you're going to lift up and take the unit off and set it aside. Now with all the panels removed, the drum is setting here. We've removed the belt from the idler pulley, and now all we're going to do is lift the drum out of position and take it out of the unit. So now that we have the drum removed, we're going to go ahead and remove the rollers. There are two, there's one right here and then one over on that side of the unit. We're going to start by removing and replacing this roller, and then we'll remove and replace the second roller. This roller in particular has a clip that holds it in place with this bracket. So what we're going to do is we're going to remove this clip, going to remove this screw, just so we can get the bracket completely out of the way and so that the roller can be taken off of the shaft that it rides on. So first things first, I'm going to go ahead and remove the screw from the bottom of the unit. Once I remove that screw, the bracket is now free, and you can use it to try and wiggle it back and forth to get this clip off. Sometimes I will just use a tack puller to put between them and work that clip off, because your support kit that has your rollers in it comes with a new one of these, so it is okay if you damage or bend or break it. It should be in your new kit. Just make sure it is before you take it off, just in case. With that clip removed, we can now remove the bracket. Once the bracket is now off, we are able to see the roller and the retaining clip is this plastic triangle that goes on here. Again, the plastic triangle is also part of the kit, so we're going to pop that off so we can remove the roller from the unit. Once that clip is removed, we can slide the roller off the unit. We'll be able to take and remove the debris and the rear clip as well, and put new clips on as well as the new roller. With the roller removed, we can now remove the back clip. You may not be able to openly see it, but it is back here behind the lint and a little bit of grease that's on there. So we're going to go ahead and remove that one now. And for this one, since I have replacements that come with the kit, we're going to go ahead and cut this one off. And remove it and discard the pieces that have came off. With that removed, I can go ahead now and put the new clip back on. Get it back resting inside of its groove. Once that is back in place, I can go ahead and install the new roller support. Once I have the new roller support in place, I can install the next clip, the retaining clip to hold the roller where it goes. Once I have that back on there, I can go ahead and reinstall the bracket support. Set the bracket support back over. I'm going to take the new retaining clip that came with it. Something that I do is the retaining clip is smaller than a 5/16, but the hole is large enough to go over the shaft. So I will use my 5/16, position it over the shaft, and be able to push it back onto the unit. Once it is pushed back onto the unit, I can go ahead and reattach my screw to the bottom. With that back on, the roller spins freely. We're set in place. We're going to now go ahead and work on the other roller on the other side of the unit. Now we're going to go ahead and remove the second roller. This one is the one that's actually giving us the noise. If you notice towards the front, it spins pretty freely, but if it moves towards the back, it does not. It's giving us a squeaking noise. So again, this one comes with new clips, both front and back. So I'm going to go ahead and cut the old clip off. The old clip cut off, I can remove the roller. Once the roller is removed, I can go ahead and remove the additional clip that's in the back. Once I have that clip removed, what I'm going to go ahead and do is wipe up some of the debris and grime that's on that shaft to make it cleaned up, and then reinstall the new one. So now that I've got the shaft cleaned up on this one, we're going to go ahead and reinstall the rear retaining clip. Got to push it back on and over the front clip spot. Now slide back into the groove that it's supposed to ride in. I'm going to now go ahead and reattach the new roller. Once the new roller is put in place, or it slides around, we're going to go ahead and put the new retaining clip back on. Once that new retaining clip's back on, the roller will be put in place, and we have free spinning. Once the rollers are back in, we can now start to reassemble the unit. Now this is where you're going to want to reference where your wires connected to on the unit, where they went to on your switch. The wires probably will stay pretty much in the same position, but I'm going to reference back to the picture I took so that I know which wires go on which terminal. Now that we've got those wires put back on, we can close the top of the unit. Again, tech tip, mental note, make sure you do not drop your screws down the vent housing. So I would start them a little bit by hand. Now the top's on, we can now secure the bottom of the front panel and reinstall the kick plate. So up under each side, there's going to be two spots where the spring hangs from, and then there's two holes at the bottom where the spring hooks into. You're going to want to be able to look under there and find the hanger. Once you set it on its hanger, pull down, position to the bottom. Find your hanger, secure to the bottom. You need those or your door will just fall flat down. That way it makes it so you have tension on your door. Once you got the springs back in place, we're going to go ahead and tighten the 2 bottom screws. Once the 2 bottom screws are tightened in place, you can take your kick panel, slide it onto the 2 tabs, and secure back to the unit. And that completes your repair of the drum rear seal. Thank you for watching another quality repair video brought to you by ApplianceVideo.com.